I said, Jesse's gone. Hey, everybody. Chuck, Greg, and Jesse here to give an update tonight on the IMMPact and what's going on in all these IMMPact cases. I actually have a handy-dandy chart here written in my terrible handwriting. And I wanted to do the Georgia case first, Jesse, because today 3 of our plaintiffs were given their EADs. In a subsequent conversation with the AUSA, he's trying to get them all adjudicated. Likely because he thinks he's going to lose the TRO, and he doesn't want to lose the TRO. He did update the court and say, hey, we got 3 approved. We're working on the other ones to try to delay the TRO, but that still means there's 20-something people that don't have theirs. But we're working on it. That's good news. And there's reports coming in from others getting it in some other cases, none of ours that I'm aware of yet. So that's the Georgia case on the 39 country. I'll get my handy dandy 39 country thing up here. Banned cases. We've got the Raji case, which the Raji case is, I believe that's the one where the government filed a motion for additional time to respond, and 30 minutes later the judge granted it. But her response is due tomorrow, the 25th. So that's all the news we have right there. But the government, she just also filed today a motion to hold the case in abeyance so that because of the Dorcas decision. So we need to quickly, hopefully, Zach can get this filed tonight, a response to that ridiculous request, because we're entitled to a decision on our case. The fact that Dorcas is currently stayed does not mean anything for us because we don't know if it's going to be stayed. It would have helped her case if she could have said, hey, we've approved 20 of these plaintiffs, but she did not do that. And then we've got the Yilla case. The Yilla case had the TRO filed on the 28th. The government hasn't responded. So we're currently trying to get a hold of the government and say what's going on, and maybe file something with the court to ask them to adjudicate an unopposed TRO. Zach should be on, hopefully, to talk about that case. And then last but not least is the Colorado case. And when Zach gets on, he can talk about the Colorado case. I think he's filed, Jesse, he filed the amended complaint. I know that was finalized a couple of days ago. With all the I don't know, there was like 400 pages of declarations. And that judge did not, he didn't dilly-dally on anything. So I imagine he might rule relatively quickly on that case. All right, we've got the 75 country pause ban litigation. That is fully briefed.
No.
Isn't it?
It's by us. They have one more brief that's due this Friday.
Oh, they have one more brief that's due? Okay. I know that that must be due tomorrow because
it's tomorrow, Friday?
Our stuff was filed 6/18. So basically fully briefed. And then hopefully we'll get a decision from the judge quickly on that case.
Yeah.
So that's the Massoud case. On the diversity case, take a look at Diversity Lottery 1. That is fully briefed. And Judge Leon has had that for a little bit. And somebody said on my live today, Jesse, that apparently they're tracking, I don't know how they do this, tracking motions for summary judgment before Judge Leon. And he just ruled on 6 or 7 of them. So we must be next. I don't have any idea how they would get this information. You got me. Maybe they're experts on PACER.
Sounds good.
Would you have any way to track? I would have any way to figure that out.
I mean, you could take it look at his docket, run it through a program, and I mean, that's great. Except I don't think judges really go in order. So I mean, it's like the Supreme Court; they don't go in order either. So
no, clearly
I don't think it means much. I mean, again.
So that's case. We should hopefully soon. People will ask 100 questions about it. Look, there's time. There's still time. Hopefully we'll get an answer.
And I mean, I'm not tied to like confidentiality, but I settled 2 cases today. I was telling you about it in adjustment of status cases where USCIS lifted the pause for my particular clients. Nothing special about them other than they're just like everybody else who's great and eligible. There were PIs pending in that case, and they agreed to do that for the families in these 2 cases. So
congratulations, Jesse. That's fantastic news.
Well, I think it may be a sign of things to come. I don't know if the State Department's willing to do it or USCIS is willing to do it. I mean, it's the same thing I see with like the Dorcas related stuff. I mean, there are benefits being adjudicated, and I think what people need to understand is if you take 7 months off and you restart the process, it's not going to be about you until it's about you. Right. I mean, there are people, I understand. They're like, oh, all day, every day, there's just people getting approved and adjudicated. It's like, that's good news. That's not bad news. It's just that they have a lot to get through. It's like yesterday I had a client, how come I'm not getting, they're ignoring me. And then today she got her EAD. Like, I didn't press a magic button, honey, I wish I was all powerful for you, but I'm not. It's just they'll get to you.
Yes, you should have said you're welcome.
Yeah, well, I will say, I mean, listen, the thing about it is we know that USCIS has the ability to do work. And
as the state.
Yeah. Well, I guess for the benefit holds that have been lifted at least till July 8th, if not further, right? So like between now and July 8th, there's a lot of work that can be done. And regardless of stays and pauses and TROs and PIs, that is the law of the land until it's not. And right. So are they going to be able to make up for 7 months of work? No, but
not in 3 weeks. They're not.
They are getting to it. I think what people also have to understand is not all benefits are created equal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going
to. I mean, obviously, EADs are much easier than adjustment applications. So some take a lot less time than others. So hey, now that we have the handsome Zach here, Zach, you want to update us on the Colorado case?
So everything's fully briefed as far as the preliminary injunction goes. Judge can make a decision whenever he wants to. He's got the declarations from everybody, so we have all declarations in front of him. That was the big thing he was concerned about in the hearing. Has the amended complaint as well that addresses Dorcas and addresses the standing arguments the government raised. So it's just kind of a wait and see thing for Colorado. The big thing is, I guess, what does he want to do with Dorcas? And we made a pretty, I think, compelling argument as to why it doesn't move the case out.
There's really good case law almost in every district or circuit court that an injunction in one place doesn't mean I can't issue an injunction in my place. Actually, the cases that really hit home on that are the Obamacare cases and then the COVID cases, where there were injunctions all over the country, stopping it all over the country. So there's really good case law from the government side on this, right, that help us. So, I don't see judge. I mean, I'd be shocked if a judge said, I'm not going to issue this decision because some other judge did.
Well, I mean, just because it's close to home, I mean, Massachusetts judges have been a little bit cranky about that, though. They declined a motion to enforce in one case, and they declined 2 PIs in 2 other cases based on Dorcas. And I think we have to appreciate that it's not the lawyer's fault. I mean, the judges have so many cases before them right now because of the magnitude of the pause and the hold, that it's tough for them to justify issuing a second order if USCIS is going to them and saying, well, we're acting as if there is no hold. So the irreparable, we're getting to it. And judges are really reluctant on saying, well, yeah, but that's not fast enough. Because when we get into that's not fast enough stuff, then we're shit. What we need to keep track of is the out of order processing, because they're saying they're doing things first in, first out, but we all know that it's impossible. It'd be impossible to even do it. I mean, so I think the next phase of this is going to be, well, why did you do John's case, who filed in April of 26, and Miriam's case that's in January is still waiting? That's going to be the next kind of.
We're seeing that in the DACA context a lot, where new cases are taking a week or 2 weeks, but people from September or November, December have nothing adjudicated. And we're seeing that. We're going to keep seeing that because, remember, in their Dorcas affidavit, they said, we have to update our immigration tracking system to put people back in.
Good luck. Yeah.
Completely insane.
It's also, I don't know if you guys already talked about this. The Dorcas affidavit is talking about countries that are not even on the pause list. Like, it's the most absurd thing. I can't stand these.
Completely insane. So that's that. On the DV on round 2 of DV 2026, this will be filed on Friday. We haven't decided on a location yet. We've been talking about it a little bit. Obviously, we'd like not to file in DC because then it would get joined to the other case. But since all of our plaintiffs are outside the United States, we have to see if we can find someplace in the United States that we can file. So we'll take a look at that. On the $100,000 suit, there's nothing, just nothing. So no question.
Yeah, other than a stay. But we have a judge that is now in month 4, I guess, of sitting.
I think he's waiting on the DC circuit at this point.
Well, I mean, he wasn't good enough to have the Boston case and the. All right, well, the DC circuit, as we know, can take their time.
Yeah, that's true. They even on expedited cases, they can take their time. On the visa revocation case, that has actually been on fully brief's motion to dismiss since the end of March.
Yeah.
And so that's unusual in my experience. A motion to dismiss, that's.
Who's the judge again?
It is. Oh, I don't remember now.
Yeah, is it, I thought it was Chutkin or Jackson. I don't remember. I thought it was a pretty good judge, but I don't remember.
Something's telling me that it wasn't one of them. I'd have to go back in and look.
Yeah, I just think that people don't understand. I guess they do understand somewhat, but the magnitude of the dockets in federal court, not on immigration, just on the amount of shit that we're dealing with as a country that is ending up in federal court is enormous. I've
never seen this level of activity in federal courts in my entire career.
Just getting the Kennedy Center back to the Kennedy Center. Look at the docket.
It's not the it's not those cases. It's the AI pro se cases.
No.
I have Checo. I'm going to send you the. Well, actually, you probably can't get to it. The New York Times front page just did this whole thing about how every court in the country is flooded with thousands and thousands of pro se AI written lawsuits that people are filing because they can go to ChatGPT and have it generate a lawsuit. And whether they're garbage cases or not, every judge in the country is dealing with a massive increase in their workloads because of that. That's why every time the government seeks an extension, they're going to get it because the judges are snowed and they don't have the time to work on this stuff either. So they are giving as much time as they can. But that's a reality that I don't know how they're going to work their way out of.
Yeah. All right. So that's kind of our update. Let's look at some questions. We don't have really that many today. IMMPact team, are the plaintiffs who got their aid approved today in Georgia case have OPT applications or only AOS? I don't know. I don't. Off the top of my head, I know who they are. I don't recall which ones they are. But that didn't really matter to the government. He just wants to get them approved. I know. Again, we sent the TRO with the TRO plaintiffs. Many of them were OPTs, but a couple of them were unable to work as doctors, pending AOS applications. So just doesn't really matter.
I'll say that from the ones that folks have been reporting to me, it's not just OPT who are getting approved.
Yeah. So
no, it's not. And then a lot of H-1Bs that have been sitting on the shelf have been getting approved.
So on the second DV case, we can't ask for the judge to give us a decision by a certain date. But once we file the complaint, several days later, we'll file the PI with that.
You can, I guess you can ask for anything you want.
Hey, judge, can you do it in July? And they'll laugh at you, or she will. My passport name has a hyphen, but the DS-26 does not allow hyphens. I don't think that's a problem on a DS-260. No, never been a problem in my career. I don't know. If we win the case regarding the suspension of lottery, will the policy lift the suspension immediately, or will the suspension continue because the government is about to file an appeal? I would suspect there will be no stay issued, and the government will immediately begin to issue.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think the only potential issue would be is if it's a nationwide injunction or but we
for us.
Yeah, we didn't ask for that. So
we didn't ask for that. We asked it for our plaintiffs. The docket files from a sued case available for us to read, or can only plaintiffs read the filings? I thought we had sent those around.
Yeah,
but
he's asking if he's not a plaintiff in that case, can they get access to?
I don't know. You can't.
Okay.
We don't send them around. We send them to our plaintiffs. Expect the updates on the pause, guys. All right. Well, I gave that already. Can IMMPact help file an individual mandamus? Yeah, you can file an individual. We didn't file a mandamus.
He's all right. Yeah.
You want to file a mandamus? Go right ahead. Absolutely. Jesse's really good at those.
People are going to get smoked filing those, but yeah, go for it.
High impact here. Do you think they're working to improve the rest of the? Yeah, I literally talking to the government lawyer every day.
Yeah.
We have a good working relationship. In the Maryland Yellow case, there's been 1 month of complete silence. Have you abandoned the Yellow case? No. Did you abandon the Yellow case? Yeah. Remember, we filed. The government's required to file a response, not us. So we'll follow. Zach will follow up, and we'll let you guys know what the government's doing there.
Everyone, I mean, let's go through the life cycle of a client again. Please help me. I'll pay you. Here's the money. I hate you. I hate you. You've done nothing. Oh, my EAD was approved. I love you. I'll never talk to you again. Bye. That's exactly what it. I mean, it's every day of my life. In one of those,
I still love you, Jesse.
No, I know, but you're not a client.
No, that's true. That's true. Physician exemption for there is no this mystical physician exemption. I don't think ever really existed, but there is no 39.
Yeah, you know what? We talked about that, or there's some rumor flying around that there was some things happening on a certain date. There is no evidence that we can point to. Actually, I've been combing the listservs for the physician immigration bar, which has its own separate discussions, and no one's reporting anything that they've heard about. No one's reporting any cases getting approved, except sort of the anecdotal. Sometimes with litigation and sometimes completely random when there's a politician screaming loud enough, they will quietly work on it.
Republican senators who've gone to bat for the hospitals have gotten results, including AOS, including adjustments.
If it's a hospital that's threatening, that might be closing in a Republican congressional district,
those are getting approved, right?
Good shot that the doctor will get what they need.
Yep.
Okay, any updates on Chikumba?
The government has an extension on their response to next week.
It's due tomorrow.
Due tomorrow. Awesome. So they've got a extension there. We're adding plaintiffs in the EB5 category just to kind of beef up specific claims. It's kind of a when you have big investors in the United States. So it's a thing that we wanted to have in there. But it's moving forward, I guess, is the bottom line here. We're in contact with government attorney and just kind of moving things forward. It's certainly not a case with a bunch of PIs and all that, like these 39 country ban cases or the DV cases, but it is plodding along like it needs to.
You know what, Zach? People should stop reading Reddit.
The rumors, the conspiracy theories.
Rumors going around. They're going to miss this, and then the sky's going to fall, and the chickens are going to die, and then we got nothing to eat at Chick-fil-A.
Wait, among government counsels, are you government counsel here? If so, please, if you could please adjudicate cases or push USCIS to adjudicate the cases, that would be.
We are seeing from government, speaking of government counsels, we're seeing them miss deadlines.
There's them all the time, and then they get forgiven because the judges just want their workloads to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But those have been submitted. So everybody, please, deep breath here.
Yeah, that was a good complaint, Zach.
It was a really good complaint, and that's the declaration. Was it 400 pages of declarations?
It was 711 pages. So
he asked for it.
Yeah.
Do you guys think when Judge Leon he will specify some terms? Well, we hope so. We will certainly ask for those.
I think what this person's really asking is, if you win, how would the State Department possibly be able to handle it, especially for consulates or embassies that are closed or not accepting people for interviews? I think that is going to be the puzzle. If the hold is lifted for the State Department on DV, how do they do this?
Well, if it's just for our plaintiffs, it's certainly doable.
For most of them, I think they're going to have to make some travel arrangements, and they're going to have to make some accommodations because there's so many consulates or embassies that are closed. But
well, when you close 30 of the consulates in Africa, that certainly happens.
Yeah.
Is there an email to reach out to the IMMPact group? The email is the contact form.
So,
Each
and
lawyer
just
on a case.
there was some shuffling about how emails got sent around on the contact page. So if you don't get a response, please send it again.
Yeah. So I don't have any unanswered things from the contact page. From Masood last, just getting doubts there will be a vacater. Does he mean there's likely a vacater or for all? It's additional relief requested beyond the vacater, just for the named plaintiffs. Well,
just for the named plaintiffs.
Just for named plaintiffs. It's all we asked for. We didn't file a Dorcas kind of complaint. All right.
Yeah, he's not gonna do a 705 and thing like that.
Nadia Bob, if stay is granted in Dorcas by the Supreme Court, you can still file plaintiff relief only. Well, you can still file all our cases. Just because the Supreme Court grants a stay.
I think you can listen. I mean, I think, this is where you have to actually, I don't mean this person in particular, but there is an avenue for some real intelligence to make some real arguments that no one else has made yet. And I think that Dorcas solves part of the problem only. It doesn't solve the 7 months where you were put on the shelf and that was unlawful. And I think that you can make an argument today. And I know judges have already come up with this. There's a Sunny case out there in ND-Cal that was great on why Dorcas is not the remedy, not the end all be all for plaintiffs who were harmed. So, I expect them to stay it.
What is July 8th date?
So that's the date that the stay argument is going to be heard by in Rhode Island for Dorcas.
For Dorcas.
Are they actually having argument on it?
He is. The McConnell is. Yeah, the judges. Yeah, and it's live on his YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, he's doing that on purpose.
He doesn't mess around.
It was like what, 3 or 4 weeks out for oral argument for the emergency stay motion.
Yeah.
I think that might have been intentional. I have a pending H-1B premium process filed February 2026. Second IMMPact, do you think I should reach out to premium process and inquire? Yes, absolutely reach out. There's no, they keep saying that those are suspended. They're working on cases.
Well, I mean, better yet, you should have your employer reach out.
Your employer reach out. Absolutely. I mean, that's premium processed.
That's the one thing I've seen be incredibly successful for people is just emailing the premium processing unit and being like, guys, what the heck?
But I think that, do you agree though that the employer and not the beneficiary for the H-1B?
Definitely the employer should call.
It's their petition. So yeah, absolutely the employer should. But
you might need to talk to the alien. So
yeah.
Why don't you file harms, Zach? I have no idea what they're talking about. They must not have read
It's the declarations. It's the rumors. It's these conspiracy theories.
The conspiracy theories.
I can tell you.
I read it on Reddit.
I know where that client is in the relationship.
Yeah. Well, the government gets a stay from Judge McConnell. McConnell is not giving a stay.
No, they're not going to get it from the First Circuit either.
Right. So we'll see if they bother taking it all the way up to SCOTUS.
And the reality is this. So just for people to understand, why is the government so hell-bent on this? They don't like the nationwide aspect of the case. That is their whole case. So they have to win on the merits though. But I think what they're really trying to fight is this notion of a nationwide relief. And so I think that there's a slight chance the First Circuit will limit it to the First Circuit only. Maybe. And if they do that, they're doing it to prevent it from going to the Supreme Court. They'll modify the PI. But I think SCOTUS will probably stay it.
Well, they won't even be in session. So who is the justice over the First Circuit?
Jackson. Jackson.
Jackson.
Well, she's stayed other stuff already, so we know that she'll do it. So Zach, I'm just telling you, did you file those harms in Colorado?
Yeah, I can't. Yes, the declarations.
Stop reading minutes.
The declarations.
When do you expect to hear from the judge in the Colorado case?
That one.
If you've learned nothing by now, you have to learn that we don't control the judges' lives or the dockets.
What I will say is the judge was incredibly engaged in the oral argument, and at the end of it, he did say he's going to try to get it out to the decision out to us as soon as he possibly can. But that there's a lot of
we don't know any more than Polymarket or Kalshi as far as when the judges are going to issue these decisions.
Is there a Polymarket betting line on this case?
There should be.
There is now. Any movement on N400 applications? I haven't seen any. Certainly none of my plaintiffs have interviewed since. How about you, Jess?
The ones where there were canceled oath ceremonies, for sure.
Yes, yeah, that's different. Oath ceremonies, yes.
I will say, cautionary tale though, there was a pro se and 1447B, and it went from an approval to like annoyed, which is number one. The government can't do that. But I'm not a retaliation person, but I did see what happened in that case, and there are some strange things. And I think there is a value to using an attorney. Like adjustment status interviews.
The case first.
Yeah, pro se filings, man. I swear to God, if I know it stinks to pay for things, but if I had litigation that was not immigration related, I would use an attorney. I would never do it myself.
Of course, I would too. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't understand the pro se thing.
So any update on J visas for physicians, please?
No, right? I don't. I've been hunting down to see any evidence that that problem is solved, and I am not seeing it. But the only thing I can think of that's similar to this is what COVID 2020, when all the consulates were closed, and it was only when it was getting really, really close to the end of June did they all of a sudden wake up and realize that this was going to be a problem if all these doctors didn't show up. And they waited till the last minute that year to come up with a policy to open the consulates up just for J1 physician applicants. So I'm hoping that we see something in pretty soon, but right now it's not looking great.
Did you file a TRO in Maryland, which is a very happy place?
We did.
People live. Of course we did. It's the one the government hasn't responded to.
Yeah.
Is there any movement on cases with a Maryland lawsuit? How can the judge make sure they're processing the cases? Any obligation to show case status closed? Well, once there's a decision, the judge, I assume, will monitor. Okay. Join the second lawsuit. I assume this is for DV. Be able to see my name on a list of plaintiffs. Well, if you get a copy of the complaint, you will see your name because it'll be there. Yeah. I'm not going to share a list. We're not sharing the names of plaintiffs with other plaintiffs, however. We're not doing that. Sorry. But if you get the complaint and all the names are erased, that means you're a plaintiff. Let's see. David Cookie. Here we go. Good to see you, David. I know typically you'll ask each person to book an appointment, but should we go through a rough range of the call? We never, ever talk cost on a video on the internet. Ever. So you want to find out cost, call Jesse directly. I'm sure he'll be able to tell you.
Yeah. Good luck finding that number.
Yeah. Any update on the yellow case? I already talked about that. I know you typically ask each person to book an appointment. Okay, we already asked that question.
I do.
No date announced for the emergency stay decision. The judges don't announce dates in which they will give decisions. That's not how any of this works. All right.
There was briefing.
We still don't have an extension on the order. The proclamation. And we have a couple of cases that we've filed testing out that no denials. We do have an RFE, but we didn't make the arguments in the RFE regarding this. So we feel decently that we will actually get those cases approved. But
that's great news. That's great news.
Somebody did just get approved, by the way, that filed and made the arguments about the proclamation not being extended for another law firm that I saw reported. So that was at least evidence that somebody made the argument successfully that if you pick an October 2nd start date, you're okay.
Here's one of my favorite questions. Will the judge really read all 700 pages of declarations?
Yeah.
It would not take months. It'll take a judge an hour.
I mean, judges have staffs. They have clerks.
They're going to send it to the law student that's working for them.
100%.
That person will read all 700 pages. These are not hard to read. I mean, they're emotionally destructive, but if you don't know lawyers, we read fast because that's what we have to do. Submitted declarations, you will never see them on Twitter, on Pacer. You will not have access to them on Pacer.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's not how it works. So and then this last one, do you have any guesses why it only took 15 days post-hearing for Dorcas on national security, but now 60 days in order for Clinic Republic charge? I got nothing there.
Is that? Oh, I think they're talking about the case in New York on the 75 country on the 75 country stuff that was filed up in New York. That is like the Massoud issue. I mean, again, I think people think litigation is linear, and it's not. So I think a lot of non-lawyers struggle with the fact that the law is not a predictable process. But that's the truth.
All right. Standalone waiver timeline keeps on increasing, sitting at 3.5 months. Anything you can do. Well, we know from our personal experience that you can't file a mandamus on it.
Yeah.
So,
the one thing I will tell you a quick story. I did a case where someone had a 212A6 finding with a 601 that was pending in purgatory. And I just challenged the 601. I challenged the 212A6 finding, and to moot it, they approved the 601. So sometimes, I mean, if you think that maybe you want to revisit that some people can, but if there's a way to think maybe that wasn't a valid inadmissibility finding, maybe that's the avenue, because you can't do it on the 601. You can't challenge the timeline.
Chuck, I just put in the queue if you want to show that article that I was talking about, the front page of the New York Times.
This one right here, the artificial intelligence floods court stock with homebrewed lawsuits.
It's unbelievable when I was reading this thing how massive the number of filings are in courts everywhere.
Is it mostly like, I feel like I saw an article about like employment discrimination and unlawful firings and like contract disputes? Is that what are you seeing?
I don't think the article got into like there was one guy that just files for everything. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of environmental stuff and honestly, I might reach out to the reporter and see if I can dig a little bit more and find out like if he can quantify a bit more and tell more about what types of cases. But that is, this is only a couple of weeks ago that this came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my favorite thing. Why do you guys answer questions selectively?
Yeah.
Well, we don't. I've actually answered every single question here, including the one you posted twice, Mac. We already talked about it. You got on a little late. Next time, get on when we start, and you will have these questions answered by us before you even ask them. So you got that going for you. And Zach will update us a little bit later next week on what we hear back from the judge and government counsel in the Yella case.
Put a civility requirement in the engagements.
It's civility. How do we fire you? That's a good idea. All right. So you guys, anything else? We'll be live again next week, 6 o'clock. I know Greg's got a live later tonight. You can listen to that.
We're talking about, mostly what we're talking about is the 3 big federal cases, the Supreme Court case and the 2 other cases. John will be talking about that.
I talked about that today on my live.
I'll be hosting Starbucks. I'll be pouring coffee 7 to 9, Rockport, Massachusetts.
Just go to Rockport.
That's where I handle my program.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
All right. And we give updates by email whenever we get information. We do not give updates that say we have no update. We don't do that. I mean, we don't have time to do that. That's silly. That's why we do these every week. So you have the information. And when we get filings, we send them out. All right, everybody have a great week. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m. You guys be totally awesome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Right.